You are now tuned in to Sir Inc.'s The Experience Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything kink. Now, this podcast is catered to only those that are 18 and above and may not be safe for work, or as we like to say, NSF. But remember, you can always listen to us during your private time. Hello, kinky and kink curious folk out there. My name is Sir Inc. And on this podcast, we're going to talk about experiences. Hello, everybody. It's been a minute. Yes, it's been a minute. I needed a mental health break. And, just a break to work on some things outside of the lifestyle. But I've also done some very interesting things in the lifestyle that I'm so happy to share with you guys. But part of this podcast is sort of a catch up and just talk about experiences. And, and experiences like expanding your environments for experience, right? So, for example, as you guys will see here, there are pictures of us being, my friend and I, being in Brazil, having a good time, and we had a cook, and, she's a very beautiful girl, very nice girl, and I really got to speak Portuguese. I really loved it. I've gotten really good at speaking Portuguese. So my experience was different. And I've been going to Brazil since about 2003. And I was married to a Brazilian woman for about a good 10 years. And I've learned a lot about the culture, of course, in that time. And I've learned to speak some Portuguese, but I would say, since actually our separation and divorce, I've learned a lot more, because I just decided that, number one, I still have friends and family in Brazil. So I don't want to lose connection with them. And we have a daughter together. So half my daughter's family is Brazilian. And thank you to her mother and her father and her sister that we still talk like through WhatsApp a couple times a month. And on birthdays and holidays, we do video. So I was able to hold on to the language, because one of the hardest things about languages, learning different languages, is being able to have someone to talk to. Because you can learn it like reading it. It's probably easier to learn to read it than it is to actually hear it. And so you need someone to talk to so you understand the way they hear the words spoken to you. And once you get good enough, you're able to listen to different people speak that language, in my case, Portuguese, and understand it, because different places in Brazil had different accents. So it's all very different. One thing I like about people from Rio, who they call cariocas talk like New Yorkers to me. If I had to say, what do cariocas sound like? They sound more like New Yorkers, where their accent is very strongly pronounced. So, the way they speak Portuguese is how New Yorkers talk. New Yorkers from a New Yorker. That is a horrible imitation of a person from New York. But you understand what I'm saying. When you listen to people from New York, their accent is very strong and very pronounced.
Oh,
so
yeah,
to me, cariocas have that
getting the grub
kind
right.
of
Getting the grub right. We're in the supermarket.
accent to their Portuguese,
in
which
Rio.
allows me to understand their Portuguese
Rio.
a little bit better than someone maybe from
Look at my man Wiz.
like Belo
Roberto.
Horizonte, where the way they speak Portuguese is more of like singing, like nha, 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 hola, como estás, tudo bem? Like they speak it in a way that's very fluid and very almost like singing, like, where people from Rio, because it's not pronounced Rio, we say Rio, they say Rio because the R is silent. People from Rio de Janeiro, they speak a very clear and very hard Portuguese for me, which is better because I can understand it. At any rate, so we're having a great time there. Our experiences are different. For me, gauging it from the first time I was there to the last time, really great experience. Was able to get around, do some different things, be able to engage different folk, have different experiences, not get jerked as a tourist. That's one of the huge things that happens to you as a tourist is you can get jerked. People are looking for you to take advantage of. And trust me, I shut some people down trying to get over it. Because once I hit them with the Portuguese, they're like, oh. And then once I use some slang, then they really know, like, okay, he know a little too much Portuguese to get over on him. Like, he's not a guy that kind of came down here a couple of times, learned some phrases. No. He actually can speak it. He understands it well. He understands numbers. He understands money. So it's just different. And experiences expands your palette in life. Now, of course, I have to admit that not everybody can afford to like maybe go to a Brazil, or another country, and so of course I have a different lifestyle. So I don't want anyone to feel like because you are not traveling to different countries that you can't have different experiences, because you can have different experiences one state away, one block away. But the whole point is to change your atmosphere and to engage in environments that you normally wouldn't be comfortable in. And I'm not saying put yourself in an uncomfortable situation where as though your life is threatened, but I'm saying put yourself in an environment that's going to push you, that's going to force you to grow, that's going to force you to understand someone else's perspective. I think, a lot of times we make a lot of differences about religion, but then you'll see, and especially me, I have clients that are Christian, I have clients that are Muslim, I have clients that are of other faiths and spiritual backgrounds, but they all can come together and talk and share a different experience in my environment because we're open to having dialogue, and no one can come with their ego, and no one is coming with, well, my God is the only God, the right God. If you feel like that, you don't speak. But if you really want to have some constructive dialogue, it's to respect other people's differences. And when you respect other people's differences, you can open yourself to maybe understanding where they're from, even if you're going to stand on your square. Like, you're not going to move off of what you believe. And it's not about moving you off of what you truly believe as much as it is just understanding other people so you don't be offended by them or put off by them in some way or misunderstand where they may be coming from. Because you understand where they're coming from, when something happens or they say something or they act a certain way, it's not offensive to you. But it's just a part of who they are through what they believe. And so experiences, I speak of experience as traveling, but I engage a lot of people. And when you engage a lot of people, you can gain more wisdom, more insight, more experience. Because one thing's for sure, two things for certain, what I've learned in life. When someone tells you the stove is hot, I don't go touch it. Before, stove is hot. Oh, yeah, I hear you. Boop. I got to touch it and burn myself. I burned myself a couple times. I'm not going to keep going back. I'm good. So when people give me warning signals, like, hey, you might not want to do that. You might want to be mindful of this. You might want to be mindful of that. I heed those warnings. I don't just go touching on things. I don't go against what I'm hearing, advice that I'm getting. I have to really weigh it heavy, especially depending on who it's coming from. And I'm only taking advice from trusted folk, people that I see have success in their life in whatever way that I'm asking. If I'm asking for relationship advice, I'm more than likely going to ask someone who's been married for 20 years opposed to someone that's single. If I want to know how I should handle a situation with a woman, I may ask my single friend, depending on what the situation is, right? But if it's like, I'm in the relationship, and it's going left like a marriage, I have to I'm leaning on my friend that's been married for 25 plus years, and I'm really not necessarily calling my uncle who's been married 4 or 5 times. I'm not really calling him for advice because I want to call the guy that's been in one relationship with one woman for 25 years. It just makes more sense to me because he has a level of success that my uncle just does not. And I'm not saying my uncle's a bad guy, but obviously he's made decisions that have not panned out for him. And whether it be him or her or them two just not making it happen, I'm gonna go talk to the guy that's been making it happen. What do you have in her, and what is in you that allows y'all to succeed? And so experience is not necessarily the experience that you get. It's also the experience that others have that you learn, right? And that's a good thing. I mean, that's a damn good thing. It's about experience, and it's not about just your experience. It's about the experiences of others. Because others can tell you also, even within the lifestyle, where to go, what to look for, what to look out for. Safe environments. So sometimes opening yourself up to listen to other people's experiences can also teach you how to avoid certain pitfalls and where to go or what to do or who to talk to so you can have more success in your life. It's all about life for me is about making better choices. It's not that you're going to be perfect, but you don't want to make the bad choices that you may make or the choices that aren't necessarily the ones that lead to a high rate of success. You need to understand what the risk versus reward is. You understand what I'm saying? And through experience, you know this, right? You may want this Lamborghini. And we all want a Lamborghini. And you go test drive it, right? And they give you the keys. And you can, speed off the lot and try to take it that way, right? But the risk versus reward. The risk is jail. The reward is the car. But your probability of really getting away with that is very low. So why would you do it? And so a lot of life lessons, a lot of life situations are this. And people can tell you because you'll see something online like, oh man, I like that. I want to do that. That looks cool. But someone may pull your coattail and be like, hey, listen, that place online look cool, but the neighborhood isn't safe. Like you might, if you can make it to the spot, you'll be good. But making it in and making it back to your car may be a little shady. I'm just saying, you need to learn from other people's experiences, especially in this lifestyle, because it can be very, very risky with how we play. And so everybody, hello, fall is here, it's getting cold, jeans are on, long sleeve shirts are on, button ups on, hats on, trench coat on, and we out here. Hey, so look, I'm here in Rio. This is my friend Roberta.
Olá, tudo bom? Boa noite.
She says hello, good evening. And I'm sending this video so you guys can see who she is because she's treated us very well. She's cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner for us. Whenever you want her to come through, coffee, the whole nine. If you need her to go to the supermarket, she got you. Right? Claro?
Sim.
Claro, sabe?
Sim. Você gostou da comida?
Muito gostoso.
Gostou bem?
Comida muito bem.
Ai, que bom.
And I was saying she asked me, was her food good? And I said, yes, her food was very good. And eu mostrar para ela como cozinha batatas como americanos quiser.
Sim, é que eu não sabia fazer batata.
So I told her how to cook potatoes, how we like breakfast potatoes. We didn't have onion and green pepper, but she made it work with some really good seasoning.
E meus filhos gostaram, tá? Eu fiz pros meus filhos, eles amaram. Adoraram as batatas.
So I wanted you guys to get a personal touch to see who she is. So if you come into Rio de Janeiro, let me know. I have a guy with apartments. I have Roberta here that can cook for you, maybe tell you where to go, where not to go. I have my friend Marcus, which I will do a video with, so he can, you know, take care if you want to go to the beach. It will tell you where to go, where not to go. Eu falo com eles. Tem Franco como apartamento, tem você, tem meu amigo Marcus no praia, e vocês falam com eles para onde vai, onde não vai,
dá instruções,
perigoso, so, tudo isso.
Verdade.
Tudo.
Olha, tá craque português aí, ó, falando, ó. Muito bem. Mentira, tá quase um brasileiro.
Brasileiro dentro do meu coração.
Verdade.
Yeah. So that's it, y'all.